This segment is called 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad,
Okay.
based on the song. So every week when we pick things to talk about, there are always a few news stories and fun things that kind of slip through the cracks just because we're trying to hit the big topics. But I came up with this little segment to give us a chance to cover some of them. I'm going to explain a few quick stories to you, and I need you guys to decide if it's a good idea or a bad idea.
Okay.
The theory behind the name is that because there are 3 of you, there should never be a tie. There will always be something that's either a good idea or a bad idea.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Number 1, the Teenage Engineering EP 1320 Medieval. There's a link there for
Good
you guys
idea.
to click.
Okay.
This is a new sampler based on the EP 133, the one that I have and can't shut up about. But it is a medieval version.
For some reason.
What's different about it? It has a new look with Old English font, new graphics,
What is
a new colorway that's brown or beige, and best of all, it's filled with preloaded samples of instruments like the hurdy-gurdy,
I'm right with you.
harps, trumpets, Gregorian chants, torture
Oh.
chamber reverb, and even sound effects like swords, animals, and a dragon.
I think we should let the Swedish do anything they want.
Can I ask a sound question?
Sure.
Why is it not called the medieval?
The medieval.
Oh,
Why is it not MIDI?
that would be fantastic.
EVAL?
Do you guys want to hear some of the sounds that it has?
Teenage Engineering. I will
Come on.
take
You could have
the
done that.
partnership on that.
Wait, it has special sounds?
Yeah.
It's
Listen.
got sword fighting.
Really?
This is a beat made with this device. That's one.
Flames.
This is another
Okay.
one. All right.
Honestly, I
Good
feel
idea
like
or
this is
bad
like
idea?
half of indie game music.
That was just
Fair.
old school RuneScape.
Yeah. True. Good idea.
All right. That's one for good idea. Andrew, Marques.
Just because I love it doesn't mean it's a good idea.
I think it
That's
does.
where I want to go.
No, I think it does because I think it's going to sell a bunch. This is basically a special edition thing, and everyone always buys the special edition things. I am more compelled to buy this than I was to buy the original version,
I can't
personally.
deny this. I have to say good idea.
Yeah.
Marques.
Because it's so out of left field that it's like going to generate buzz, you know?
Bad idea. I love when tech companies take their products and take photos of them like in the grass or on a rock. There's something hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, this makes sense to be on a rock.
What's funny is that during the interview with David Erickson, the co-founder that we had on a special Waveform episode, go back and listen to it. I asked him, because this is going to be an EP series, and I asked him, are there going to be more of these? And he said yes with like a smirk. This is not what I was expecting.
I love that the font is like
Old English.
Yeah.
And they
Like,
renamed some of the things on it, too.
But even the digital font inside that changes is like alarm clock-esque, but old English. Oh,
They're also selling a vinyl for $22.99 that
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to buy
Well-
because that's not even that expensive for a vinyl.
All right, so Marquez, why is this a bad idea?
Too niche.
Fair enough.
Too
I'm-
niche.
Honestly, fair.
You're not into
That's-
Renaissance fairs?
I'm not particularly. Yeah, I'm sure there's. Look, with every product, it's a good idea for someone. I just think there's not enough of those people for this one.
All right.
It has
So-
a $100 medieval quilt bag carrier if you want to buy it.
The shipping is $16 on a $22 product.
It comes by carrier pigeon.
All right.
All right. Well, the consensus, good idea.
Yeah.
I would love to put this on my desk and not know how to use it.
How does it?
Yeah, that's what I do.
$300.
It's the same price as the original EP 133.
I just want to
It's
reiterate
$299.
that we should let the Swedish do anything they want. Anything they want.
All right. The second thing is Amazon's AI podcast picker.
Bad idea.
So we always talk about. Let me explain. Okay. We always talk about how podcast discoverability is bad, and that's one of the reasons we throw it on YouTube, because it's a discovery engine.
That's true.
Amazon Music launched an AI feature that will help you find new episodes based on topics mentioned in the episode. So, quote, to suggest relevant topic tags, podcast transcripts and descriptions are analyzed by AI alongside human review to identify key topics that are discussed in a particular episode. So using AI for podcast discovery, good idea or bad idea?
I can go first.
Oh.
It is a good idea
Mm.
specifically. It's a good idea.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Does it only serve you different episodes of that same podcast, or does it give you different podcasts?
Different podcasts and different episodes.
It's a good idea.
So we got one good idea.
So what I'm assuming you're getting at is the idea is great, but
The product,
the person doing it maybe isn't.
yeah,
gonna do
may
the
or may
best
not
job.
be good, may or may not work well, may or may not actually follow through, but
That's
it's
fine.
a good idea.
This is just for the idea.
Yeah.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
That's too.
I like any idea that helps podcast discoverability. David?
My question is, how is this different from just Googling the word?
What?
Like in the sample that it shows, it's the Stuff You Should Know podcast subjects, the duality of caffeine, and then the topics that it shows that you can then search for more podcasts about is caffeine, which is obvious, coffee, dopamine.
I think
What if I just search those terms? Wouldn't it
You
show
probably-
me podcasts anyway?
No,
Only-
you might find like a list that someone wrote on a website.
yeah, or like if
No, I mean,
it
in the app.
specifically has that name in the title, but if a podcast search just sucks so bad. I feel like you would
Okay.
have a hard time finding this. Where if this is actually pulling from the content, and also not just that, but knowing the content of what it is. Like, so if you search coffee, it doesn't just mean they said coffee in the transcript once, but like the topic is actually. This is an assumption,
Okay.
by the way. But
Considering I don't think it diminishes the experience, I think it's a good idea.
Oh, so all good ideas. Okay.
And
so
I
good
never
idea.
thought that I would think
Wow.
Amazon and AI in the same sentence would be a good idea. but
Amazon
here we are.
AI.
Idea.
Yeah.
idea.
We need to try it.
All right. So good idea. Next is the Ford Bronco and Mustang e-bike thingy.
Nice.
Yeah. Ford is collabing with N+, an e-bike company, to release a Bronco and Mustang e-bike. They have rear hub motors that put out max 750 watts of power and 85 nanometers of torque. I don't even know what that is.
Newton meters.
Newton meters, thank you. The Bronco will be rugged for all-terrain use and has a dual suspension system that they're calling GOAT, which stands for Goes Over Any Type of Terrain.
Should it
And
just
will
be
run
goes
you-
over any terrain?
Yeah, that,
I think that's
it
just
should be.
all.
but-
That's just
it
what
should be.
all terrain means, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But then how will they get the GOAT
Yeah, they
acronym?
need it to be called GOAT somehow.
Yeah, it's got to be called GOAT. This thing costs $4,500, and the Mustang e-bike will cost $4,000. And there will also be a 60th anniversary edition that will be sold exclusively at Ford dealers. But my question, e-bike versions of popular cars, good idea or bad idea?
Not for
E-bike.
$4,500.
E-bike versions of popular cars. I'm definitely leaning towards bad idea,
Here,
or just not a good idea. You know, like there's a difference.
no, I hear what you mean.
It's not
There's
a
nothing
bad
inherent.
idea.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
Right.
There's no danger here. It's just that's not a good idea.
That's a great point.
It's like yeah.
Something that's not a good idea is not necessarily a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
where
did
I'm
not
at.
see this coming. This
It
is a
looks
wrinkle in my plan.
cool. The,
I
the
guess.
picture looks nice.
It looks
Sure.
fine.
Here's my biggest question about this. If they're basing it off of old cars, I would assume the majority of people who are very nostalgic about those old cars might not want to be traveling at 30 miles an hour on a bike anymore because they're a bit older and it doesn't feel the safest. I'm not saying old people can't ride bikes.
I see
what are you saying,
a lot of old people
I feel
riding
like
bikes.
spending $4,500 on a bike
Well,
feels more
An
dangerous.
e-bike.
here's a counterpoint. Porsche's e-bike is
$10,000.
$10,700.
Damn, this is a good deal then.
My take is that there are a bunch of white label e-bike brands that go to car manufacturers and say, want to make a ton of money? And then they just put the name on it.
And then they don't make a ton of
And then
money.
they don't because nobody buys it. I've literally never seen anyone with one of these.
Yeah.
I
Um,
doubt you ever will.
yeah. I mean, apparently there's the Polestar bikes too, right?
There's a Bugatti scooter out there
Bu-
somewhere in the
The
wild.
Bugatti scooter is chef's kiss.
Oh, so that's a good idea.
No, it is terrible, and I love it so much.
I'm going to say bad idea because I don't think they're going to sell any.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm also going to say bad idea, even though the color matching paint is kind of cool. What they did with the red bike and the red old Ford.
That's my
I think
favorite part about
That's
it.
pretty cool, but that's about it.
I'll go good idea because it looks nice. It was well designed. And if you're okay with paying a bunch of extra money for nostalgia and looks on an e-bike, I don't see any reason not to get this.
Except that I think the company is going to spend more money on making these than they're going to actually sell.
I ain't losing any money on it. Good idea.
All right.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
2
If
out
they
of 3
made
ain't bad,
these-
but it's still a bad idea.
If they did like a Pikachu e-bike, I think it would sell way more than this.
Hey, if you enjoyed that clip, since there's a lot of scraping of YouTube videos going on right now, it seems like it's just fair game. So you might as well scrape the like button and the comments section of this YouTube video.
Comment scrape.
You might as well comment scrape or scrape comments, whichever
No,
is easier.
you shouldn't do that.
Probably just comment scrape.
Yeah.
Don't scrape. Yeah, exactly.
That's against the terms of the service.
Scrape is becoming one of those words that sounds weird now.
Yeah, don't
AMD?
scrape. And okay, that's it. The end. Bye.
Bye.